welcome, 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 welcome. I'm gonna make it short.
Hi,
Hi, I'm Hillary, Ontario, Canada.
and I'm Teresa in the nice cool island of Barbados because we're having some rain. It's
Show
not
off.
so hot. Why are you rolling your eyes?
Welcome to Hot Tea with Pleasures, where we keep it raw and real. Check us out on our social platforms, Instagram. I'm pretty sure I'm not coming in well. Hold on, let me get my mic a little bit closer. Or social platforms, Instagram. Watch for some previous shows right here on YouTube and listen to the podcast on RSS. Also on TikTok. Like, subscribe, and leave your comments. And come and join us to lubricate your life. So, Teresa, what are you whining about?
What I'm whining about?
Mm-hmm.
No, I
I
don't know
have a
if it happens with
lexicon.
the other Caribbean islands,
Mm-hmm.
but we know when hurricane season is. June standby, June too soon, July standby, and the whole nursery rhyme that we learn from primary school, from preschool.
Mm-hmm.
Yet still, we start to see the rain falling. We get the news with forecast that there's going to be a hurricane, or we're
Mm-hmm.
going to have rain, or we're going to have winds. But yet still, you see these long lines at the gas station filling up for gas. These the supermarket lines from middle of the week. People are buying the water, buying the canned food, and that all that's fine. But my thing is, we know we are in hurricane season starting from July. So if you're going to replenish, I can understand that. But why are you filling up your gas tank when you know, like today, for example, the rain is falling and the gas stations are full of. Where are you going to go? And they tell you to stay inside because of flooding. Tell me where you're going to go with a full tank of gas.
Well, at least they're not like here that when after they heard that it was the apocalypse coming or it's going to be the end of the world, everybody went and bought bread and toilet paper. I'm not sure why.
Eh, No, listen, they
Ew,
would do that
yeah,
this week.
they would have got bread and toilet paper.
And then
Rudy's out
before the
today. Rudy's
weekend is
not going to be
finished,
here
the
today.
gas
He's
station is full
he's
again.
at a family gathering. We want to shout out Rudy.
A,
Doing
a
a little
party.
better, looking nice and snazzy. Sent me a picture. He looking nice and snazzy. What am I whining about? Well, a certain fast food joint that I will rename
What
nameless
about
for
your
now.
whining about
Yeah, I think you're delayed.
your
I already started talking.
Hillary is frozen?
Are you okay, Teresa?
Yeah, I'm good, but from my
Okay.
end, it looks like you're
All
you're
right.
sticking. So go on.
Yeah, don't call the restaurant's name, but a certain restaurant that we will not talk about the name, fast food. I visited them about 2 weeks ago and almost lost my life. Let's put it that way. Um, there was something in the food and it made me extremely sick. There's my dog. Made me extremely sick, and I have been, and that's why we didn't broadcast last week. It was an interesting situation and very scary. um, and all I gotta say is, although when you go to these restaurants, check your food before you consume. That's all I gotta say. So that's why
What
I'm
now?
whining about. I almost whined with my life. So that part.
I think something similar to that happened to a member of mine in
Mhm.
flight. They
Mhm.
were given, the little food trays that they give you,
Mhm.
and then eating, they went like kind of on a gagging motion. And when they checked the food that they had to spit out in a tissue, there's the little plasticky thing that's beyond the bag,
In the bed.
something like a staple, the bread bag.
Okay.
There's the white
Oh, that thing. Oh,
one of
like the hook,
yeah,
like that tells
half
has the
yeah,
expiration date on it.
yeah.
That one. Okay.
Half of that was within the cream
Mm.
potato thing.
We have to have a show about this because it seems to be happening. Or is it safe to eat out anymore? That's what I want to talk about because something going on. Anyways, let's continue.
Okay, that's our wine about Hillary and her restaurant and me and the hurricane season
That's
and
right.
the full gas stations, I should say that. But welcome to our show, Hot Tea with Pleasures. We will be keeping it raw and real. But tonight it's a kind of a serious topic.
Mm-hmm.
And our topic tonight is gaslighting.
Yeah.
This is not a physical activity, viewers, not using fire to an individual. So if you're like some persons and you're unsure of what this means, we invite you to stay tuned tonight and learn more. First off, let me give you a disclaimer. Hillary's frozen again. It looks like she's just sleeping on me.
I'm not frozen.
Our
You're the one who's frozen,
disclaimer, the
honey.
information here is shared. Well, I look from my end, you're frozen, so I don't know what's happening.
There's something going on with
Um,
your computer because you keep cutting out in and out.
oh, okay. You can hear me good now
We
then?
can
I'm
hear you good.
flowing?
You just keep cutting out.
Okay.
Keep continue.
The information here is research and it's being shared. So if this is something that will be a trigger or trigger for you, please walk away at this time. There are other episodes that we have that might be less sensitive for you. Feel free to view any of those episodes. Now, our disclaimer is out of the way. There's some questions. As we continue our show, we have some questions to start. First question is, do you constantly second guess yourself?
Uh-oh. I think we lost Teresa.
Do you ask yourself, am I too serious? Um, do you often feel confused or even crazy? And do you have trouble making simple decisions? These are some of the questions we're asking you. You don't have to type them into us. You can, ask these questions to yourself. And as we go through tonight's episode, you will get a better understanding if you are being going through gaslighting in your relationship, or if you are gaslighting someone. So this might be one that be calling you out for your actions, what you're doing to someone. And it's more of a mental thing than a physical emotion. Okay, let's start. Let's continue. How do you tell if someone is gaslighting you? That's our first one.
Can I just add to that part about what gaslighting is?
Yes, you can go on.
Okay, so I mean the the psychological it's a psychological abuse basically, and we talked about that in the beginning. Is where a group or a person makes you feel as though you have to question your own sanity. I can hear my dog. I hope you guys can hear your own sanity, memories, or perception of family, of reality. So, ways that you can experience gaslighting is that you feel confused, you feel anxious, you feel as though they cannot trust themselves. So you leave with a sense of paranoia. So,
Mm.
go on.
Oh, okay. Our first thing, our first this is search with the New Institute, a research paper. With more young people talking about mental health,
Mm-hmm.
gaslighting has become an increasingly common topic among this age group over the last few years.
Mm-hmm.
Gaslighting and other forms of emotional abuse is also known example and I think they're talking about movies and series that we tend to watch. The Girl on the Train, the reality TV show, The Bachelorette. Then there's
Hey,
one on
Victor.
Netflix
Welcome to
called
the
Jane.
show. Sorry. Shout out our regulars.
He won't be having his partner this evening.
Now, your partner in crime is at a wedding, no, birthday party.
Overall, that's a good thing because greater awareness around these forms of emotional abuse can help people avoid threatening and unhealthy relationships. So the films that they have, oh, the series, The Bachelorette, The Maid, The Girl on the Train, they're saying that these for some persons that don't understand what gaslighting is, when you see series or movies like these, it tends to explain to us what is gaslighting and bring more awareness around it. So before you excuse someone's behavior, it's important to understand what it really means and how to look for the signs of gaslighting in a relationship. So
Right.
we'll bring you closer to give you a definition of what it means, the mental health impact of this behavior, and how to tell if someone is gaslighting you.
Yeah, and sometimes, and a lot of times, people use it in the wrong context because they think gaslighting is like you're BSing me. And it is that the person is BSing you, but it's on a higher level of mental control. So a person might say, in a comedic way, "Oh, you're gaslighting me," like you're BSing me, but that's not what. That's a very very low grade of the behavior actually is, and the abuse, because it is abuse, actually is a mental and emotional control of that person, without, and it can be argued that abuse is abuse. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to be measuring levels of abuse, but I'm just saying that sometimes psychological abuse is harder to recover or even learn how to manage versus physical abuse, because you can sometimes explain or understand or even try to figure out, or you can feel something because it's a physical attack. But when there's mental abuse, it's sometimes hard to understand why, like, or and you start again, you start questioning yourself. It happens from from parent to child. It happens from boyfriend to girlfriend, girlfriend to boyfriend, they to them, whatever. It happens, and it happens a lot in the senior
Mhm.
community, where professionals are abusing seniors, or even
They
family
happen within the
members.
workplace.
Yeah, family members are abusing seniors. So it can happen on to anyone. No one is off the market. Don't think
Mhm.
that you're too smart to know when you're getting gaslighted. Because the fact that you even have to ask yourself, am I crazy? That you will tell you that you have been gaslighted at some point. So yeah, go on.
Okay. Um, Gaslighting. What is gaslighting abuse? It's a form of psychological manipulation in which the abuser attempts to sow self-doubt and confusion in the person or person's mind. These gaslighters are seeking to power and control over another person by distorting reality and forcing them to question their own judgment or to intuition.
Hmm.
Um, a little bit about where it came from. They're saying here in 1938 there was a play called Angela Street. I don't know if Hillary would know of
I
that
don't think
because
it
she likes
came
a
from
lot
there. I
of
think that's when they recognized it,
history.
because
It
gaslighting been
was
around
by
for
Alfred
centuries and
Hitchcock.
centuries. Hmm. No, I'm saying
Yeah.
to you that
And it was then later adapted into a film actually called Gaslight. And this film was about when a man, you're frozen again. I missed some of what you said.
yeah, I'm saying to you that I can't agree with saying that it was first seen. I can agree by saying that people started to notice or even try to recognize it as abuse during, for that film to have been created. But a gaslighting has been around from the beginning of time. It's just as we get more and more educated and more understanding of each other, that's when we realize our faults and behaviors and kind of call people out on their BS. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. gathered some of what you said because you were in and out.
I don't understand how you
The
are. I think your
internet seems to be jumping all over the place. I'm not sure if it's
yeah.
the weather,
Nicola,
but
can you tell me which one of us keeps freezing so I can fix it on this side? Is it my Is it me that keeps freezing or Teresa keeps freezing? Just type it in the chat.
am I frozen now to you? Because you are frozen to
Yeah,
me.
you keep coming in and out slowly, so I'm not sure what's going on. Nicolette, are you there? Oh, she
Okay.
said it's Teresa. Teresa, it's your computer. Had me think. See, now you gaslighting me. Had me thinking it was me. Look at that. You had me thinking it was me, girl.
There you go. Perfect example,
The perfect
everyone.
example. Teresa was
So
gaslighting me
the
just 2 seconds
gaslighting
ago,
typically
trying to make
takes
me feel
place.
like I was crazy. Had me here checking my systems and looking around, asking people questions. She's like, "No, I'm not freezing. Hillary, you keep freezing. Why you keep freezing, Hillary?" Now, that's an example right there of gaslighting.
Typical example. So gaslighting takes place in abusive relationships, closely associated with other types of emotional and physical abuse. While the gaslighting is most common in romantic relationships, it can also occur with family or workplace relationships. So it's not subjective to a man a romantic relationship. You can
Mhm.
have it among your peers, you can have it at work and such like. So some of the questions that we had were mentioned earlier, if any of these questions, especially the one asked, if you're asked, asked if you are sensitive to certain things throughout the day, and if you often feel crazy or confused at work or among persons, uh, and say in a group, that can be gaslighting. So some of those are the questions. Um, if you feel hopeless or joyless, I think I froze just now there again.
Listen, lady, you're the one who's freezing.
Nicolette, can you let me know if you guys can hear me?
Just keep going, okay?
They say the internet is the connection is unstable. So I'm even trying to see if I can follow it along on YouTube, but it's
Yeah,
doing
don't
the
worry about
same
all that.
thing.
Nicolette got it. It's just that we have to.
Nicolette is in there for
Yeah, it's you, Teresa. You're the one who's
complete.
freezing. Don't
Yeah.
worry about it.
So
Nothing you can do about it because you have bad weather down there.
okay.
You said you have bad weather, so it's okay.
Okay, she said you're frozen, but you can hear me.
Yeah, so keep talking. We're gonna lose our audience. I'm gonna
Okay,
take
good.
over. I'm gonna take over.
Okay, everything is buffering again
Okay,
now.
don't worry about it.
So that's the
Okay,
thing
I'm gonna
on
take Nicola, Teresa. I'm
waiting.
gonna take over. Okay. So gaslighting typically takes place in like abusive relationships, as Teresa was saying, and other types could be
Um,
emotional or physical abuse. Um, it's common in romantic relationships, but it also occurs in family and workplace relationships. And for women of color, you can see that when it comes to microaggressions. Okay, family abuse, it can be a form of, you know, you have a child that is being controlled by the parent, or you have a senior situation where you're now taking care of a senior and it's now becoming too much. And instead of reaching out, you've now turned to abusing the senior by making them think that by hiding abuse. So I think a common one is seeing new bruises on a senior and wondering where those bruises are coming from, and then having the senior try to explain to you that this person is assaulting me, and for that person in the same room with you saying no, 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 you, and trying to convince the senior that they fell or they can't remember that they fell, and the senior is like, no, you did it. And You know, for example, the family member will probably say to you, "Oh, you know, she crazy girl. You know, she got dementia. You know, girl, you know, she can't remember nothing. You know, it's been she fell in the shower last week, and I had to do this," and make all these stories up. And so you're now having the senior in the room with two people who don't believe anything they're saying. They know their reality, and now they're being trying to convince her that, or him, that what really happened didn't happen. So that's how it comes up in the form a lot in family. When it comes to parent child, it could be that you want to control the child's behavior, but if you as an individual is not in the right place in your life, that control of trying to make them do right can turn into an abusive situation where they now here goes my dog, where they now use some kind of tactic to make the child behave a certain way, or to make the child feel as though like something is wrong with them if they do a certain behavior. So that's how it can be shown. You good, Teresa, now?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, let's do the 10 signs of
Something
gaslighting.
sometimes you're frozen, but nevertheless.
I'm never frozen.
No, from my end, sometimes it's frozen.
Yeah. Okay, let's do the 10 signs of
Okay, the
of
questions, we're going to the question.
let's do the sorry?
We're going into the questions, or we're going to
Well,
go
let's
to
go
the
ahead and do the let's
other
do the
clip.
questions, and then we can go ahead. Go ahead. You start. I have to keep my stomach lined. She's completely frozen now. Oh dear.
Okay. You feel you're hopeless or joyless?
I think Teresa's having some some issues there in beautiful island of
Do
Barbados.
you
I know that they
frequently
are
make
having
excuses for
some
your
weather
partner's
issues.
behavior?
Oh, there she goes. Oh boy. Okay, I'm going to continue until Teresa can get back in here. You have 10 signs of gaslighting in a relationship. If you're wondering how to tell someone is in a gaslighting relationship, consider whether someone has exhibited any kind of the following behavior within your romantic, family, or work relationship: lying about or denying something, and refusing to admit the lie even when you show them proof, insisting that an event. Are you good now? And nope, an event or behavior you witnessed never happened, and that you're remembering something
Yes,
that's
yeah.
wrong. Spreading rumors and gossip about you, or telling the other people that you're gossiping about you. Changing the subject, or refuse to listen when confronted about a lie or even the other gaslighting behavior. Telling you that you're overreacting when you call them out. Blame shifting in relationships, saying that if you acted differently, you would have been treated like that, or it's really your fault. Trying to smooth things over with loving words that don't match their actions, and twisting words to minimize their abusive behavior. Minimizing your feelings, or even your or words that are saying something like oh, it was a joke. You're too sensitive. you know.
Okay, when you
Sep-
say
sep-
minimizing,
Sorry?
when you say minimizing your words, can you explain that a bit more, please?
Minimizing my words.
Mm-hmm.
I said minimizing your hurt behavior. So their hurt behavior. So for example, if you feel like you feel offended, or like say for example, I was to say to you, "Oh, Teresa, I love your glasses. They make you look like this," or whatever. Like say a Smurf,
Mm-hmm.
make you look like a Smurf, and you're like,
Mm-hmm.
"Dude, what? What'd you just say? Ah, come on, I'm just joking. What's wrong with you?" And then inside, you actually do feel offended and hurt, and you're trying to explain to them that, and then they say, ah, you're just way too sensitive, man. Right?
Okay.
There you go. And then separate you from friends and family. That's the one. Here's where the danger starts to even get worse. When that separation happens from your friends and family, which is your support system, who might recognize the gaslighting abuse symptoms. So once the separation happens, a lot of times the coercive or the psychological abuse goes from psychological to physical. So let's do the questions, Teresa. And do you want to do a little skit before we go into the questions? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
You're the abuser. I am the victim. Let's go. Okay.
Oh,
I don't know. I think my abuser is getting froze out. That's good. Okay. Any sign of gaslighting in a relationship or cause or concern that indicate that the connection is unhealthy and may cause severe mental health issues for the person that's being gaslighted. Okay. So let's get the questions, Teresa. Come on, let's do it. We either gonna do the questions or we're gonna do the skit because you keep freezing like crazy, girl.
okay. I have some of the questions here. 10 signs of gaslighting behavior.
Oh, we already did that. Okay. So what does gaslighting look like in the workplace or in society? So have you ever been in a situation where you feel as though you are crazy? You're at work, you're overworked, underpaid, and doesn't matter what you do or what you say, everyone around you make you feel like you're the problem. Have you ever had that? So most of the times, in most situations, 90%, you're being gaslighted. And for people of color, they know too well what that looks like. You being brought into the organization, doing the work, and then when promotion happens, the same person that you trained is the person being promoted above you, and then you being told that you're not qualified to be in that position, although that you trained the person to be in the damn position in the first place. Gaslighting, aka microaggressions, aka BS. So, Teresa, you back?
I'm hearing you, but you're just frozen, and I'm frozen, so I don't know.
Okay,
You
we're
can hear
gonna
me,
take
right?
a necessary break, so we can get Teresa to reset her computer, and we'll be right back with some more hot tea with pleasure. Please do not go anywhere, and remember to like, subscribe, and comment here on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and RSS, and we'll be right back with more hot tea with pleasures.
'Cause when life and sugar, they just want to stick. The woman know they're thirsty and they want to taste it. Sugar boy, don't play with my head. If I can't get you, boy, I don't want no one else. Sugar boy, please understand. Don't ever give my dinner to another woman. Chicken go down low, when I come up so. 'Cause when life and sugar, they just want to stick. The woman know they're thirsty and they want to taste it. Sugar boy, don't play with my head. If I can't get you, boy, I don't want no one else. Sugar boy, please understand. Don't ever give my dinner to another woman. Chicken go down low, when I come up so. 'Cause when life and sugar, they just want to stick. The woman know they're thirsty and they want to taste it. Sugar boy, don't play with my head. If I can't get you, boy, I don't want no one else. Sugar boy.
Okay, we're back, and hopefully this means Teresa's gonna stay on the screen forever. Right, Teresa? Is
Is
it
it
bad
better?
weather there? Is that what's happening? Okay, welcome back with Hot Tea with Pleasure. We keep it raw, and very real. Oh my God, I'm Hillary here in Ontario, Canada. I think we're still sorry.
Cause when fly French sugar, they just
ready?
want to stick. The woman know their pussy and they
Actually,
want.
Barbados.
Okay, Hillary in Ontario, Canada. We're trying here. Teresa, I think she has some bad weather in Barbados, and her internet system is just breaking all the way down. Sometimes she's frozen. Sometimes she's talking over me because she doesn't realize that she's frozen. Anyways, let's continue with the show. We're talking about gaslighting in the workplace and in society, but we have some questions that you wanted to talk about. Let's see if we can get through the questions now, and then we can go from there. Continue.
Okay, you start lying to avoid the ups and downs and
This is weird.
the twist, the reality twist.
Okay. Yeah, go on.
Right. So yeah, that was one of them. You have trouble making simple decisions.
Mm-hmm.
You have the sense that you used to be a different person, more confident, more fun-loving, and more relaxed. But now things has changed, and you're second guessing everything that you do, and persons are doubting your ability. You used to feel hopeless and joyless. You start to feel hopeless and joyless, sorry. You constantly ask yourself, second guess yourself and doubt yourself and want to know if you're the one that's being too sensitive to the situation. And you tend to hide things from persons that you even trusted, person that you like, longtime friends,
Yeah, definitely
family
so.
members.
Mm-hmm.
All
Now,
good?
yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah. So the impacts of gaslighting, it's of course it's a mental health because it's all mind games, and when you're consistently being told that you're confused or you're crazy or something's wrong with you, it messes with your mental health, and you start to question your own reality, your beliefs, and you, as you say, you become isolated and feel powerless, as though something is wrong with you. Your self-esteem, as you say, it goes down. Your disorganization is this, you're just all over the place. Your self-doubt, difficulty functioning in school and work and social behaviors, all those cues are being off-put by this mental abuse. As a result, they exhibit things like anxiety and depression, suicidal thoughts. Young adults, they suffer from a condition that's very vulnerable for gaslighting, and turns that make their mental health issue much worse than before. People tend to struggle with PTSD, and they have difficulty trusting others, as you say, and they engage in codependent behavior. So after the gaslighter, they start their behavior, you take over. Your mental inabilities take over because now you have second guess yourself. You think that you're crazy, you're going crazy. You think that something's wrong with you. It's when it starts to work, you take over. And that's where the abuse even heightens to a higher level. You don't know what's real and what's not real anymore. And, some people start to self-medicate, abusing drugs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's one of the, I told Teresa earlier, I don't measure abuse. Abuse is abuse. Doesn't matter what it is. But hi, baby Eiffel. Good night, hun. But it's really hard to get rid of mental abuse. It really is. I'm not saying it's not manageable, because there are methods and different things that you can do and support systems you can put in place to help with the effects of PTSD of that mental abuse, and gaslighting. But It's just
So persons that are, say, bipolar or, yeah, say bipolar, are they subject to being, to what, susceptible to gaslighting?
any person can be gaslighted. Any person can be gaslighted, and if you have a history of abuse, you're even more open to being gaslighted, because you already know how it feels and what abuse feels like, right?
So you're saying then, if you have a mental disorder, like say depression,
Mm-hmm.
that's that makes you vulnerable to persons to for you to be
Well,
gaslighted.
it makes you more vulnerable, but I want to make it clear that gaslighting can happen to anyone, and you're
Mm-hmm.
not going to know you're being gaslighted until it's too late, right? When you start questioning yourself, questioning your sanity, you're not going to. First of all, we're from Generation X, okay? We're from Generation
Generation
X.
X.
They call us, yeah. We're from Generation X, and we're also that group that are now running the world, starting to take over. We came up in the era where you don't complain about things that are happening bad to you. We were told to either be quiet, don't talk about it, man up, woman up, be this, be that. We were
And then
told
again,
that
if it's
is
the
my
same,
that
mhm.
is that right there, right? Is gaslighting. Okay? So you have a whole generation that was that was raised on gaslighting. It was. Think about it. Men shouldn't cry, okay? Right? They you I'm gonna say YouTube, don't make me say it. They the peas. If they cry, you're a wimp, you're a thug, you're a punk if you cry, right? You're a P.
Uh,
That you heard that. Tell me you didn't hear that, Teresa. You heard that, right? Gaslighting. Okay? And it's so embedded in our generation, for example, that even today we continue that toxicity by now taking over and repeating the same damn behavior in our own
so
homes.
basically, it is emotional abuse
Yes.
and it's mental abuse.
It's emotional, it's psychological abuse. And what happened to that generation of those boomers that raised us, okay, they took their crap, give it to us, and told us do something with it. All right. So you have a whole generation X that just look in the head.
Okay,
Huh?
I have a question. Can you have gaslighting within marriages?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's everywhere. It could be, and the thing is, a person with with healthy mental practices, because everyone has a mental health issue, right? But when you have a
What's
mental,
that?
yeah,
To say everyone has a mental health issue. When you
every
say
single
that, what do you
person has a
mean?
mental health issue, because mental health could be good or bad. So everyone has a mental health issue.
Yeah, but you saying that, I think you may have to elaborate on it and
I
what
don't need to
you,
elaborate on anything. I'm telling you
yes,
what, that's facts.
because the
Everyone
same
has a
person
mental
have
health
a
issue.
mental health issue.
This is time for everybody to go open their book and start researching. Everybody has a mental health issue, okay? We are not perfect. Perfection is something that has been created to make us think that we are crazy, okay? It's called capitalism. Anyways, I'm gonna get kicked off of YouTube. So gaslighting, it was Robert Stern. He said, gaslighting may not be the only factor leading to mental health illness, but the same factor that leaves a person vulnerable to gaslighting may result in lower self-esteem, uncertainty about their reality, anxiety, and ultimately depression. Over time, you begin to believe that there is something wrong with you. You take over, as I said, because one of the most important people in your life is telling you this. So it normally comes from someone that you trust. So when by gaslighting some person, you've taught them how not to trust people around them, including their family, including their friends, including society. And so what happens is, if you're being gaslighted in your home as a child, why the hell would you trust anybody? Why?
Mhm.
You've been taught by the person supposed to love you not to be trust. Don't trust nobody, right?
So what about getting treatment though?
Oh yes, there's lots of treatment. But remember this: And I always talk about this as well. Fear is something that will never leave you. It was just learn how to manage it, right? And so they tap into those fears, by the way. People are gaslight, they tap into those fears and they use those fears against you, you know? For example, they say something like, oh, do you think I'm fat in this dress? Girl, you're not fat. It's okay, you're big boned. And you're like, what? And they said, what did you say? Did you say, what are you talking about? I didn't say nothing. Hey, Teresa, let's do a skit. You're the abuser.
Yeah, at first.
Let's do it because we need to see people. We have Baby Eiffel in the chat. All of us just a minute away from a mental. That's true. Here we go. All of us are just a minute away from a mental health. You're frozen again, girl.
If I open any more pages, internet is low.
Yeah, that's true. And this is the part that we have to get away from. Saying that we all have a mental health issue, it basically says that all and you know, Baby Eiffel just said it. We're all just a minute away from a mental breakdown. So this society that we live in, especially the Western society, is built on money and productivity. They don't give a damn about you, right? So why would they care about your stability of good mental health? And I'll be the first to say, working in the industry, if there's no sick people, then I don't have a job, right? Just think of it. Mm-hmm. If there's no sick people or no people with any kind of mental health issues, why would I have a job? I wouldn't have a job. So this society is built on people not getting better. But there are ways in which they don't want to talk about to help balance out, you know, the capitalism, behavior, and way of life, and maintaining a good, healthy mental balance. And that's where you have to be selfish and take care of yourself. Lately, all the issues around me is starting to wear me down. And thank you for sharing that, Victor. And I hear you. And this is this is the problem, but we don't say we're all dealing with something. People try to walk around as though they're perfect, as though they can manage everything and handle everything. But when we start working together as a community and start realizing that we're all crabs in the damn bucket, and the people holding the handle, we call the 1 percentiles, okay? They're not only white people. They're everybody. They look like all of us, okay? We're going to get kicked off, but whatever. Because we're all crabs in the back, a bucket, fighting for the top of the damn bucket, where we should be helping each other and trying to...
On the way up, yeah.
Yeah, trying to find a way out of the damn bucket. So when you see a person gaslighting a family member especially, don't just sit there and become part of the problem. Help them. And how you help is not believing everything that you hear. You know, and this is the problem that we have. And people love to say, oh, you crazy, or oh, she just paranoid, or he paranoid, or we love to do that part. And when you do that part, you add to the problem. So Victor's saying, he said, yep, that's true in regards to Baby Eiffel's comment about we're all a minute away from mental health breakdown. And he said, lately the issues around me are starting to wear me down. Living in the place is becoming suffocating, bills and social and mental pressures. And I hear you. And this is the thing is, especially with men too, is that men are taught in this society that they have to be strong. And what strong look like is muscles and being and not crying. And
don't talk about stuff.
Yeah, don't talk about it. And no, that's called being a human being. Okay. People that cry are humans. People that, you know, talk about their issues are humans. Okay. People that are suffering are humans. It doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you a punk. It doesn't make you the other P word. It makes you human. Okay?
That's what you were saying earlier.
Yeah, and that's what we have to stop doing to ourselves. We have to start doing it to each other as well and continue that behavior of gaslighting. So that's true, Victor, but you have to lay things out and try to prioritize and eliminate some things. And that is so true. Let's talk about a few things that you can do, Teresa, to help with getting help for mental health.
Okay, let's go back a bit more when it closing.
Actually, before I do that, I just want to do one more thing so you can actually start looking at yourself and um, and um, and see the symptoms of abuse. Okay. The only way, by the way, for you to stop gaslighting is to remove yourself from the relationship. Unfortunately, that causes a lot of people to stay in those kind of relationships because with removing yourself from any relationship creates a financial burden. And some people weigh the difference and think that, you know what, I'll just stay in it because at least I have a place to live, or at least I'll eat, or, you know, but they don't measure the dangers of how that emotional abuse constantly every single day can lead to you now becoming a person who self-harms themselves, whether it be addiction or physical or cutting or suicide. They don't realize that you could actually be creating for yourself a pocket of death. So just, you know, I can't tell anyone to leave their abuser, but what I can tell you is the only way to get true help where it starts to be effective is to leave that relationship. Baby I will say, stop suppressing and talk about those issues with others. And I agree, Victor, you have to open up and realize that when you have an emotion and when you need help, you need to reach out. And if you can't reach out, Teresa's gone. If you can't reach out, that's okay. People will reach out to you. Oh boy, Teresa, you were just making a mess of the computer, girl. People will reach out to you, and you have to be okay with opening and sharing and putting yourself in the position where you think you're being vulnerable, and that's okay. That's when you're sharing and showing and showing your true emotions. And any person that judges you in that moment should not be part of your life, because at the end of the day, they are also part of the gaslighting. They're continuing the behavior of your abuser. Talk to others about what's happening for you. Don't let the gaslighter separate you from your friends and family anymore, or your colleagues who care about you and respect your point of view. Share what's going on with many people around you as soon as possible, and to validate your experience. And if a person tells you that they're experiencing something and you don't believe them right away, you don't need that person in your life. And I'm sorry if that offends anybody. Sorry, not sorry. That's how I see it. I've eliminated a lot of people from around me that gaslighted me for many years because no one stepped in when they could have stepped in. They love to talk about how they could step in. They love to talk about it, or I didn't see that. You know, if you love a person, you see things. You decide if you want to be part of the problem or the solution. If you want to be part of the problem, then you stay part of the problem, but not without me. So that's one way you start to surround with people that actually believe you and trust, and create a trust now that that you create a support system. Focus on actions, not words.
One of the other
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, one of the other ways that you can respond, and they were saying you can collect evidence and like document your interactions with persons and that are trying to gaslight you, and that can help you keep track of what has really happened. From what have you doubted yourself? You already have it documented that this is what happened, and this is I am not going crazy.
Well, this is Victor's saying a couple of things in the chat. He said to Baby Eiffel, he said, "But who guards the guards? Maybe you shouldn't be a guard anymore, and maybe you should guard yourself. Maybe it's time for you to take care of you. When pillars need help, or who helps the pillar, and that again, start surrounding yourself with people who love you and support you and are there for you. Even
That's
if
so true.
even why boss can't even go to him for answers for daily solutions, And this is the part that it becomes hard when it's at the workplace and the person that's gaslighting you is your superior or boss or whatever.
But this is what you were saying earlier.
Yeah.
When it comes to workplaces, they're only interested in production. So
Yeah, a
things
lot
like
looks
that,
good
you
on
can go
paper,
to that
Victor, but
person.
yeah, sorry. A lot look good on paper, Victor, but it's not cut and dry. No one says it's cut and dry, and that's why I said that gaslighting and psychological abuse is one of the hardest ones to manage. But what you have to do because right now I'm going to tell you, and I hope this doesn't offend, you are sitting in gaslighting in that you, although you're saying that you need help, that now you're believing what people have told you. You're believing that you can't go to your boss for answers, and that might be true. I'm not saying it's not true, but there are other people that you have a support system you have to turn to. And so there's no perfect answer or perfect solution, but what you can do is create a support system so that when those days are hard at work, you can go to that support system for that relief. Because you cannot change anybody, Victor. You can only change yourself. And so you're creating now a circle of support so that when you have to deal with those hard moments, and when you have to deal with those hard situations, you have an outlet that you've created, a structure that you've created of trust. You focus on
And I think
actions,
that
not,
too.
yeah, focus on actions, not words. A gaslighter may sometimes tell you what you want to hear in order to keep you in the relationship or to keep you in a certain position at work. But words are meaningless if their behaviors don't change as well. So you have to also stop allowing them, and I'll use the word allow. Some people get offended when I use the word allow. I'm not saying that you have created this issue. I'm not saying that you want the abuse. What I'm saying is you have to see what inside of you makes you start to believe that. What inside of you makes you feel as though you are helpless. That is the part you have to start addressing. Baby Eiffel says, no, it's not cut and dry. Find someone outside of that person. I went outside and above that person for help. Sometimes you have to be in your own advocate. He was my support system. He sees me rant on my BS. Victor, I'll say this to you. Sometimes you have people that come to you camouflage, okay, and that you might think he was your support system, but your support system does not attack you. Your support system does not make you feel like you're crazy. Your support system does not turn to abuse when things are not going their way. Your support system is something that is stable. It creates a stability, a place of outlet. You're able to have arguments and discussions and not feel attacked. So if you have that issue with your boss, know that that issue was already there, and it's now just coming to light. So now you have to realize that that is not your support system, and create one somewhere else. I'm very much an advocate for having a support system outside of work, having some person there, yes, but it's best to have something away from the workplace so that you have an outlet. Don't try to argue with a gaslighter because their job is to gaslight you. They've been doing it for so long that it is now part of their behavior and their personality. It's not irrational behavior. The gaslighter will not respond to logic or admit they have a true motivation. If your partner or friend or colleague turns to the conversation into an opportunity for themselves to insult you or even to question your sanity or ability, they will go back into the steps of gaslighting. So that's best to step away from that kind of discussion, Victor, and the relationship if possible. Okay. Baby Eiffel say, I have done that and fought for myself. A few co-workers and supervisors were in awe with how I've dealt with it. And Victor, I'm going to say to you that maybe it's time for you to work on yourself and work on your self-esteem and work on your confidence and build that that support from within yourself as well, because we can get support from people around us, but if you don't believe in yourself and you don't start self-loving and self-worthing and understanding self, then it doesn't matter how much support you have around you. You have to also believe that there's trust there. And then And that's where the practice trusting yourself comes in. Practice trusting yourself again. You know, once you have ended a relationship with a gaslighter, it will take some time. It will take a long time to practice starting trusting yourself, trusting your thoughts, trusting your abilities, trusting your predictions and perceptions of things. And remember that the picture of gaslighter painting for you is not true. And the only person that can change that thought is you. Baby Eiffel says, I call my sisters, one is like a pit bull and the other like a preacher. So I thought from both sides to deal with, I took from both sides to deal with the situation. Teresa, you want to, yeah, we got a few more minutes. Teresa, you want to talk about supports
one
for
of the things
mental health?
that I agree with you there, and speaking to one of the viewers, is creating that space for yourself where you believe in you and what you're doing, you're keeping calm, and it can help you focus on the truth and making it less likely that their version of events will sway your confidence and faith in yourself.
Yeah.
So getting that physical space and just taking the break and revisiting things later, going for, you know, focus on self-care and a clear mind.
Yeah.
So,
And I want to say I want to read one more thing.
You know, that what comes with is the breathing exercises.
I want to say one more thing that Victor says here. He said he mentioned his cat twice. His cat left. And so with a person who has been gaslighted, any kind of action that's seen as negative is going to be magnified to a bigger scope. Your cat left, but maybe your cat was going to leave anyways. You don't know what could happen. So many different things could have happened to cause that situation to take place. So the behavior of gaslighting has already happened for you. So anything that happens around you that is negative, because now you're actually doubting the cat and saying, well, you left. You don't know if it left. Something could have happened, unfortunately, to the cat. So, thank you so much for being vulnerable and for sharing that. Thank you, Baby Eiffel, for also sharing that. If you need help with mental support, there are local agencies in your community that you can reach out to. There are always crisis lines that you can reach out to. Here in Canada, there's 311 and 211 that you can reach out to for information. You can always call the Canadian Mental Health Association here in Ontario, Canada, actually in Canada, period. And and he said, yes, it's magnified, unfortunately. Yeah. And that is true. And I'm so sorry, Victor, that you have experienced that. And I hope that you get the help that you're looking for. And I hope that you can create a support system around yourself. Teresa, thank you so much for being part of my little craziness today.
Yeah, so apart of, because I keep falling in and out with the internet.
It's okay. It's all good.
My apologies to our viewers.
Yeah, it's all good. We keep it raw and real. We're still trying to get that system up and running. It's my fault. As I said, that restaurant really messed up my thing. I missed a lot. I miss work. I miss school. I miss placement. I miss so many different things in that last 2 weeks. I am almost getting back. I'm still, not 100%, but I'm getting there. And all I have to say to that is thank you for watching. We will be here again live next Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and keep it raw and real. Nicolette, thank you so much for always having our chat. Victor and Baby Eiffel, thank you for coming through. There are other people in the chat too, but they haven't spoken tonight. Thank you so much for viewing and for coming through with us. Teresa, we will see you next Saturday.
Bye.
Bye. And Victor said, pay your internet bill. Okay, bye, Teresa.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Miss that stack, taking big swings, jam to the bat. Put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag. Cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light. Ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel. I took a red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real. But how's it supposed to feel?